everybody. Today we are here to talk about love. 7 Days of Love is the title of this presentation, of this talk. Why 7? Well, it could be more, it could be less, but I think 7 is a nice number. Like the 7 days of the week, 7 colors of the rainbow, the 7 chakras. And in general, there are 7 different conceptions of love, more or less. You know, there are different versions, but just let's move to that presentation. What is your conception of love? What do you understand by love? Do we have any answers here?
I'll say something, right? Right. Love can be hugely enjoyable, whether it's with a person or a thing. It's very desirable. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can be a wee bit problematic, but generally, love is great.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Yeah, well, love, you know, is a word that we use words for different things. For example, if I say notebook, no, this is a notebook, it's clear. Or I have, let me check here, a pen, no, it's clear that it's a pen. However, love is a much more abstract word. So when I say love, I have a meaning of love in my mind, and I say love to somebody, and just a sound that goes to their ears and processed in their brain, and compare with their beliefs, with their past experiences, with could be good or bad love experiences, and might be a different conception of love. Actually, the Greek used to have, well, in some versions they say 6 or 7 or even 8, but I think 7 is a good number, and that's where we're going to talk today, about the different aspects of love or different meanings of love. But also, well, love, apart from being an abstract word, you know, we have many languages. For example, amor in Spanish, etc., etc. And in every different culture might be a slightly different meaning. So, well, I'm going to use the chakra system as a guideline for the 7 types of love. That doesn't mean that each meaning of love belongs to one chakra, but anyway, some of them they do, and because it is better to remember and to understand the concepts, I have just classified the types of love like for each chakra, even though, again, I insist, it doesn't mean that every type of love is related to only to one chakra. But for example, ludus, that is the love that is about like more playful. In this case, it is more related to the second chakra, because the second chakra is about pleasure. So in this case, for example, it is more like matching this meaning. But for example, PHILAUTIA, what is PHILAUTIA? PHILAUTIA is the love for yourself, the self-love. That is actually very important. And it's not the most important, one of the most important types of love. And I have put it in the first chakra because, well, it is the base of everything. If you don't have love for yourself, it will be much more difficult to have love for other people and things. We have also philia. So philia is the love among friends. I think this is clear, no? Philia, friends. So, well, it is the root of the word. Then we have STORGE, that is the love within the family, within the members of the family. We're going to see more in detail each of them, all right? And then we have PRAGMA, that is the love that endures, that lasts for many years, even forever. And we have the EROS love, that is usually the meaning that most people give to the word love. That is the romantic love, the love in a couple. And then we have AGAPE. This is the unconditional love. That is, in my opinion, also one of the most important concepts. All right. the love for yourself. But for yourself, what is yourself? What is, could you be yourself in the sense of your ego? I mean, if we can distinguish between the ego, the person that you are, that the concept of person that you have about you, or other people have about you, or it could be even like a higher, let's say, meaning, like a love, like in a spiritual way, no? Love for your soul. That is also what we are going to see, the agape love, that is also the more very related with this spiritual concept. But it is love for yourself in every aspect of yourself. I have recommended this documentary before that you can find on YouTube, Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds, how we live in two different worlds. The outer world that we all see, like this material world that we can identify easily, but also we have an inner world that is our thoughts, our feelings, the conversation that we have with ourselves, the beliefs, our dreams. So it is very important to have this concept of your inner world, because that is this PHILAUTIA love. It is the love for your inner world, for yourself, right? So also you might have heard about this woman that unfortunately she passed away a few years ago, Luz Hai, that she wrote this book and, well, many books, and she has a film also called this You Can Heal Your Life. So if you have love for yourself, you will take care of yourself as a body, also as well, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and that is how you can keep yourself healthy. Or you have I mean, sometimes, you know, there are different circumstances in your life, but you want to have more probabilities to be healthy in your life in all different aspects is by having love to yourself. Now, I want to share another screen. It's a video. There is an interview with this man, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That is an astrophysics man, okay? You heard the sound?
We're here with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist at Manhattan's American Museum of Natural History and host of PBS's Nova Science Now for Times 10 Questions.
This is an interview
Neil, thanks
that
for being with us today.
I'm ready for you.
What should be done about the fact?
So one of the questions that he answers, so you want to check this interview that is 6 minutes long. I will not play here, but you can watch on YouTube, and it is very interesting. Well, this man, it's very interesting what he usually says. But one part of this interview, one answer was extracted, and with this answer was created this other video. So I want to play this one.
What is the most astounding fact you can share with us about the universe?
The most astounding fact.
The most astounding fact.
Is the knowledge that the atoms that comprise life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the crucibles that cooked light elements into heavy elements in their core under extreme temperatures and pressures. These stars, the high mass ones among them, went unstable in their later years. They collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy. Guts made of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients become part of gas clouds that condense, collapse, form the next generation of solar systems, stars with orbiting planets. And those planets now have the ingredients for life itself. So that when I look up at the night sky, and I know that, yes, we are part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. when I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because they're small and the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. There's a level of connectivity. That's really what you want in life. You want to feel connected. You want to feel relevant. You want to feel like you're a participant in the goings-on of activities and events around you. That's precisely what we are, just by being alive.
Well, so what is this video about? If you could understand well, we are actually stardust. We come from the stars. The components that form our bodies can only be produced under very specific conditions in the core of the stars with high temperatures and pressure. And then when the star exploded, the components spread around the universe, and those components help our bodies to create. So we're actually made of stardust. So we are like the stars are part of us. So, and also last week we were talking about the Kybalion, that one of the things that we were seeing is that the universe is holographic. That means that, like, if you get a drop from the ocean contains that drop, but also that drop contains the ocean, like at least the patterns of the ocean. So each of us is like that. We have a universe inside of each of us. And well, this is, in my opinion, something very interesting, because nobody can tell you that you are not worth enough. Nobody can tell you that you are not of value, because you are just part of the stars. You are, you have, just by the single fact of being born, you have all the rights. Nobody can remove the rights of, of being, of having, of feeling, of loving, of expressing your truth, of understanding, and nobody can remove those rights from you. So I think it's good to have this in mind for, among other reasons, for your self-love. I hope now with this, some reasons that I told you, I think you are more sure about your self-love. Not only why you should love yourself, but also there are some benefits, like, for example, your health, etc. All right, so this is PHILAUTIA. This is the love for yourself as a like a body, ego, but also in a spiritual way. Okay, let's move to the second one, LUDUS. So this is about the playful love that usually is in a couple. You have this attraction, this sensuality, sexuality, and you play with that. So this is this type of love. I'm not going to put images of this. I leave that for your imagination. All right? Philia. As we said, this is the love among friends. When you have a good friend, you are not loving that person like a couple, right? It's not like this romantic love, but you feel something for that person. You have confidence, you feel well with that person, you do things together and live good moments together. Like in this film that I don't know if this is from the 80s, it's a bit old film, but it is Stand By Me. It's a group of friends, they live adventures. So, well, this is just an example of philia, of how two or more people can have this strong connection and live things together and have this being comfortable with each other, they can be honest. You can tell anything without having fear for of what you are saying. So this is this type of love, the philia. Storge. Storge is the love within the family, especially the parents, the love that the parents have for their offspring, like a mother or a father. Usually, I mean, there are some cases that are more difficult, but usually, no matter what the children do, sometimes they misbehave, but anyway, that love will be always there, and a mother or a father will always be do their best usually for their children, most of the times unconditionally, and in spite of the children not corresponding sometimes because they don't have enough maturity. But also this love, well, is not only from the parents to the children, could be among other members of the family, brothers, etc. Even with friends, like friends that have a very strong bond. And now with this, we have seen with the friend, the family, and the romantic love that we are going to see in a moment. But there is this pragma love. This could happen, as I say, it could be, well, usually it's among friends, but it could be members of the family or in couples or previous couple. I mean, people who have been together have had a romantic experience before, and maybe they finish their relationship, but after the years, they are still there. This is the love that you can, is the typical friend that calls you, like after some years, you don't know about that person, and then one day call you, hey, I was thinking about you and just wanted to know how you are, and no matter how long it has been, you are happy to listen to that person, the voice, and to catch up. So this is the love that endures, that lives for the whole life, that is like the love of being there for whenever you need it. Like you don't need to be like calling that person like every week. No need, because there is such level of confidence of love of the for a very old friendship or for a very like previous relationship, and you have that confidence, you trust each other, and you know that forever, whenever you need, that person will be there. That is the pragma love. And now let's move to the eros love. This is the romantic love in a couple, the love of the Disney movies, etc. Well, of course, this is one of the most important loves, no doubt about that. However, usually, not always, depending, but most usually this love is conditional. It's like, I love you because you treat me so well, you complete me, you are so handsome or so beautiful, and just looking at you, I feel butterflies in my stomach. Well, what happens if that person stops doing those things to the other person, maybe that love goes down and it could even disappear and even finish in a bad experience. Hopefully not. I mean, this Eros love, it can be amazing. It's one of the reasons of being alive, to experience this love. Well, all of kind of loves, no? But well, this is one of the most chemical love. Like you have a lot of feelings inside you thanks to this love. And well, ideally, this love will pervade, will endure during many years, and it can become even, ideally, your partner, it's also your friend. So it could be a filial love at the same time, if you have that level of confidence with that person. And it could be like we have seen before, the PRAGMA love, that it is even, as I said before, a partner, a couple have been for many years, and then they, for any reason, they decide to separate their lives, but still they are there for whenever they need. I have a problem, I can call you, and you are there for me. So this is the Eros love, the romantic love, usually conditional, but well, it's one of the loves that brings us more life, no, to our life, no, like more motivation. And now the agape love. This is the unconditional love, the love of God. It's like, for example, we have the sun giving us their energy, their light to the earth, to us every day. What will happen if the sun one day said, because you don't give me anything in return, I'm going to stop giving you the light? Okay, that would be a conditional love, right? So the sun gives us unconditional energy, light, no? Well, this is just like a metaphor, no, to talk about this kind of love, but we can think about this, about the God of love, the love of God that loves us unconditionally. If you believe in God, you might believe in Allah, you might believe in the cosmos, the universe, the universal source of energy, whatever it is. This is the energy, the high vibration that is always there. And looking for from the perspective of a person, the unconditional love is the love that, you know, when you do something for a charity, you volunteer because you just feel that you want to help people. You don't expect anything in return. So this is the agape love, the unconditional love. And the unconditional love, we can see the rest of the types of love from the unconditional perspective. For example, the eros, the romantic love. Imagine if you, in your relationship, you experience that relationship not only with this romantic love, even ludus, the playful love, but also from the agape love, having compassion for that person. So sometimes we might get mad at our partner because of some reason, and well, it is normal that we have some misunderstandings, etc. But if you look from the agape love, from the unconditional love, the highest frequency love, remember in other sessions we have seen that love, well, everything is about energy, right? Everything vibrates in a different frequency. So the colors are different frequency, the sounds, but also the vibration that we vibrate in a different frequency, right? Depending on our thoughts, our feelings. So we could distinguish like the one pole of this spectrum of energy, it will be the highest frequency, that we could call it love, and the lowest frequency that we could call it fear. All right, so this is also from this perspective. Look at the things from the highest frequency, from the highest point of view, the more love, no, the more like to be compassionate, to be peaceful, these kind of things, these concepts. So you have this, you grab this concept and you apply it for the rest of your life, the rest of the types of love. In this case, for example, eros love. You have this compassion, this understanding for your partner. So the relationship probably will be smoother, no? It will be much understanding and collaboration within the couple. What about pragma? Well, actually, this pragma is quite unconditional, right? It's like this person who, after years, call you or want to needs help, and you are happy to help that person because you just feel it. It is a kind of unconditional love, actually. This love, pragma. Storge. Well, usually also the mothers, the parents, the fathers have this kind of almost unconditional love for their children. And if you apply these concepts of, you know, highest frequency, compassion, etc., imagine if you apply this for your children always, and because sometimes we might get some stress, and then the stress that you have inside you is reflected with the members of your family. So you treat them in a bad way just because you are stressed. Well, sometimes they have some responsibility for your stress, but anyway, if you apply this love, also the highest frequency love in your family, also the relationships will be smoother within your family. In the philia as well, if you apply this filial, the agape love, the unconditional love with your friends, well, also you like, if it is really a good friend, that there are not so many in your life, right? But these really good friends is kind of also unconditional. It's like when that person needs a favor, you do it, you know, you don't think twice. You say, oh, yeah, I mean, like it comes from your heart. So this is the filial love with some unconditional love as well. And then, well, the ludus, here is maybe more difficult to find unconditional love in ludus, but it's like they are quite different concepts. But yeah, you can, in these moments you have intimate moments you have with a person, you can do it from like a kind of spiritual point of view. It is a spiritual communion, actually. That is how it should be. It could be just like a physical attraction, and that's all. But the best, for me, in my opinion, practice of this ludus love is when there is something like a spiritual connection, like something higher, no, like more unconditional love, or more higher frequency there, and like more connection. You actually, when you're having a moment of this, you are, you know, your chakras are connecting at that time. So it is also depending on how you are, who you are at that moment, no, you can feel different experiences. And the more the person is like feeling, I mean, like experiencing or practicing, let's say, practicing this unconditional love, and as we are going to say now also, this PHILAUTIA love for yourself, the better will be the relationship with others in all the different aspects. So PHILAUTIA, as I said, is the love for yourself, physically and also spiritually. So here, if you put in common those two types of love, what is like, you really feel satisfied with yourself, in balance with yourself, you love yourself, that is when you most can love others and other people, and have this unconditional love for other people, especially when you are feeling well and love yourself. So let's make a review. Remember, the title of this talk was 7 Days of Love. So what about if we practice these 7 days of love? So for example, on Monday, we could have this agape love, unconditional love, love of humanity, charity love, the love of God.
Okay.
It would be an interesting practice if you say, okay, on Monday, I'm going to focus on the agape love. So I'm just going to remember also a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about mindfulness. Mindfulness, that is this practice that you do and you just see the world. Well, it could be outside or just closing your eyes or and see within yourself, and just with no judgment, just observe the things and give love to whatever it is there. So you could practice this, for example, with mindfulness. Just walk around the street and see the people and look at them with this unconditional love, with this mindfulness, just with compassion, with the view, the spirit of a child. No, when a child is discovering the world and is experiencing and wants to know this, what is this? No, this like level of curiosity for what is out there or in there. The Eros love. Okay, on Tuesday you can do, or maybe you want to start on Sunday the unconditional love and then Monday start the Eros love as you want. So you can say, okay, I'm going to, well, of course, this is easier if you have already a partner. If not, anyway, you can experience in some other ways or with, remembering good moments you have with the previous partners, etc. So this is the love of like romantic, passionate, even sexual. Well, sexual is more like the ludus, but also is very connected with this one. And as I said, in most cases it's conditional, but not always. We could make it also unconditional if we want, kind of. And then we have this pragma love, that is the love that endures. It's been there for whenever you need, that person is there to help you, to give you a hand. No matter how long it has been since the last time you talked, is there. So maybe the next day of the week, you can say, okay, this person that, this old friend that I haven't known for about him, about her for a very long time, I'm going to give you a call. And well, that is very nice, to receive a call from an old friend. Even it could be a WhatsApp. No, nowadays we use more WhatsApps. But for example, some days ago, I received a call that is very rare nowadays, as I say, from a friend from United States that we met many years ago, like 12, 13 years ago. And well, we have met a few more times during the years, but she just well, called me and how are you? Are things going, etc., etc. So I think this is a good practice you can do with your old friends or whoever you consider. And then we have STORGE. This day of the week you can practice with your family, because this is the family love of a parent towards offspring and vice versa. Also some strong relations and very close friends. So this is also not 100% unconditional, but is quite unconditional. It's like, you do whatever you can do for your family, most usually, unless there is not a good relationship. But usually for in your family, you help each other, etc. Right? So you could practice at least one day, focus on this love and do your best for your family or some members of your family. And then we have the PHILIA love, feeling part of a team group, friendship, affection. So this day of the week, for example, you can just say, okay, I'm going to meet this friend and have a, have a drink, coffee, work together, any activity. So yeah, it's good to have friends. Well, I had one of my ex-bosses, he told me once that his father told him once that he has one friend and a half. He said that the one who was half is because he didn't prove yet that he was a real friend. So I mean that real friends, like the friends that are always there, that you can count on them anytime. Unfortunately, it's not, we don't have a lot, but well, if you have been, you know, you practice these types of love, especially the agape love with all the people, it is, you have more probabilities to have more friends like this, right? Because this is a relationship that you feed across the time. So as I say, this is not, we don't have a lot of very real friends, but yeah, you can have a bunch of them and yeah, do activities with them, etc. And then we have the LUDUS, playful, exciting love that we talked about before. Well, here if you want to practice this love and if you have the chance, you can do it, of course, anytime. And then the PHILAUTIA love, the self-love, caring about oneself, taking responsibility for oneself. Because remember, as we have said in other talks, we all are responsible of the things that, at least in middle long term, happen to our lives. The decisions and actions that we do today will be the outcome in the future. And the things that we are living today are decisions and actions and thoughts, even thoughts. Remember, if from the quantum physics, law of attraction, etc., even thoughts from the past. So we are responsible of the things that happen to our life. Sue the other day was asking me, what happens when, you know, there are accidents that, you know, people, there is a natural disaster and people die there. Are they guilty for that? I mean, they deserve that? Well, in my opinion, remember that this is all my opinion, okay? You can make your own conclusions. In my opinion, you have a responsibility, especially in the middle long term, because, you know, there might be accidents that happen to your life because whereas, I mean, we influence our lives and even sometimes immediately, but sometimes there are accidents because we are not the only beings here in this world, and there are many energies around, you know, and many causes and effects. But for me, like, it could be immediately, but especially middle long term, we are totally responsible of our lives, and that starts by loving ourselves first. If you have this similar, also I spoke about this previously. If you have a cup that is empty, you cannot give any of this to anybody. But if you fill this cup, you have plenty of what could be water. You have plenty of water in your cup, you can give to others. So in order for you to do your best to other people, it's very important that you fill your cup, if not 100%, quite full, in order to be able to give that love to other people as well. So this is, as I say, one of the most important. So those are the types of love. I hope you have understood that the love is a very abstract concept, and there are different meanings of love, and this is the most important ones. And you can apply them in different aspects in your life. But remember, very important, PHILAUTIA, love for yourself, AGAPE, unconditional love. And then when you have these two, you can enjoy the rest much more. Catherine has a question. Yes, Catherine?
Hello, yes, I did. I was trying to figure out, see, when you love an activity or you love an object, you know, like loving an activity, like maybe painting, or loving an object, like you've got a real nice cup or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what category they fit into, because this seems to be about people really more than things and activities. But can we fit activities and objects into this?
Okay, good, very good question. Actually, I didn't thought about that perspective. As you said, this is the main types of love according to the Greek, but
Yes.
There could be even more types of love, and the ones
Yes.
that you said. Like for
Yes.
example,
I mean,
yes.
Perhaps philia, perhaps actually that covers quite a lot. You know, like if you love art, that's part of a art throughout the world, for example. So perhaps that would fit into that category. And maybe objects that might be in the pleasure. You know, if you've not got a partner, then you make more use of other different kinds of enjoyment, perhaps. Just a guess.
Yes, love is such an abstract word that even there are even more meanings of that. That's the ones that you said, and well, we could try to fit those into one of these meanings, or we can just have a different one, independent. So yeah, for example, when you create something, when you are like, for example, painting or dancing, you are expressing love, you are expressing your art, and that helps you to feel well, no? That gives you a lot of PHILAUTIA love, no? That increases your vibration, your frequency. And the love for objects, well, it's something very material, but yes, it's of course it's another type of love.
Yes,
probably none of this, but yeah, actually, I didn't think about that before, so it's very interesting what you say.
Yes, because when we think about something like a computer, well, you could think of that either as a worldwide thing, or actually a very solitary object. You know, somebody who loves computers could love it for different reasons. Yes,
exactly. Interesting point. Thank you, Catherine.
Okay, welcome.
Now you know the types of love. There is a book written by Dr. Gary Chapman that is the 5 love languages. Do you want to know how to express love to the people, your friends, your family, your partners? I suppose yes. So let's go ahead. First way of communicate love: words of affirmation. Encourage, affirm, appreciate, empathize, listen actively. So that is when you put your attention on another person, especially when you truly and genuinely are giving that person words of support, or like it could be from how beautiful you are to you are such a nice person, you did this very well, or even without saying words, just listening actively. We have seen this in other previous sessions. Paying attention when the other person is talking to you and giving feedback, etc. Actions to take here. For example, send an unexpected note, text, or card, or genuinely encourage and do it often. All right. So this you can do this with your partner, with a friend, etc. But you can, for example, put it in the frame of a relationship, no? Couple. How you can keep your partner happy and the relationship is balanced. And well, this is also mostly for a couple. Physical touch, non-verbal. Use body language and touch to express love. Well, it could be like sexually, but also it could be like with friends, just touching the shoulder, for example. No, this gives support, etc. Hug, kiss, hold hands. Show physical affection often. Make intimacy and thoughtful priority. All right. So this is another way you can communicate love. Receiving gifts. Thoughtfulness, make your spouse a priority, speak purposefully. So this is, the gifts can be material gifts, or it could be just a surprise that you give to that person, like take that person to a nice place, etc. Give thoughtful gifts and gestures. Small things matter in a big way. Express gratitude when receiving a gift. Also, this is very important, to express gratitude, not only to give, but also when you receive, you appreciate it. You thank that person, because that will encourage that person to give you more. And in general, also is like a high vibration. The gratitude is a very high vibration. So it's good that you are grateful for, even when you get up in the morning, say thank you for one new day. The life will bring you more reasons to be thankful for. You can give your partner or your friends or your family quality time, uninterrupted, no mobile phone, and focused conversations. One time is critical. So, well, you can use this in a group, but especially one-to-one is very important. Create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your partner. Weekend getaways are huge, for example. And then acts of service. Use action phrases like I'll help. They want to know you are with them, partner with them. Well, use the phrases, but also do it, no? Just be there to, like, aware that if that person, even they don't ask for help, that person is good, they receive help, be there and give help. Or just, bring the breakfast to the bed, these kind of things, that this could be also a gift. And quality time, well, they are mixed, no? But this is another way to do it. Do chores together or make them breakfast in bed, as you say. Go out on your way to help alleviate their daily workload. So these are the different ways you can communicate and give love to your partner or to part of your family, your friends, etc. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening to this talk. I hope you have got some inspiration, and you will, from now on, have this, first of all, self-love, PHILAUTIA, and also AGAPE love. You have those loves in the middle. The rest of the loves will they will be much more value and quality, in my opinion.
Thank you, Esteban, very much.
You're very welcome. Now it's time for questions and answers. Or any feedback that you might have. Hola Maritere, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Hello, Maritere.
Hola a todos, saludos desde México. Muy bien, gracias.
Sue wants to say something, I think.
No, I'm just saying hola.
Okay.
Hola, Amarity.
Hola.
Remember that. Yes?
Sorry. I have a question. What happens when there is conflict between self-love and loving others unconditionally? Because you might be giving, and then, there might be conflict between what they want and what you want, and so it is conditional in a way. It's a bit selfish sometimes, it feels. So what happens then?
Good point. Also, yes. Well, I think the love for yourself is very important. So if you think somebody asks for help and it's okay for you to give help, of course, much better, no? If you can help somebody, and if it is a conflict between your well-being and the well-being of that person, then you must think carefully. Yeah, you could say you are being selfish if you don't want to have a person because for some reason it's not convenient for you. So yeah, there is always like a line, no? It's a border where is the being selfish and where not.
Yeah.
So every case is different, no? You must, for example, a person who asks for help, or who calls you for because they are feeling they need to talk to somebody and just feel comforted by somebody, and you do it, and very nice. However, if that person keeps doing that, very often, well, you still have energy and love, a lot of love to give, and you can do it, perfect.
Yeah.
However, sometimes some people might become vampires, no? Vampires of energy.
Yeah.
And you must be careful with that, because probably they do it unconsciously or not, but most of the times it's unconsciously, and they really lack self-love, and so they need to get from somewhere or somebody. But yes, it's good to protect from those people, no? Because I have experienced, people who come for this type of being comforted and telling all the bad things that are happening to them, and you try to help giving advice, no? And well, sometimes they don't need advice, just being comforted. But if that is repeated, then say, okay, let's try to find a solution for this. And you try to give a solution, and they don't take any action. Then in that case, it's like, okay, and you can talk with them in that way. You say, okay, I'm feeling that, using assertiveness that we have seen in previous sessions. I'm doing this for you, but I feel that, well, whatever, talking from your point of view, from your feelings, and just express why you are acting in this other way, or why you are not going to do this anymore. You communicate in that way. But yes, in summary, I think there is a difficult border between being selfish and being, look after yourself first, and it depends on every case. So if you can, you can help somebody, and you have time and energy, etc. Of course, do it as much as you can. At the same time, look after yourself, and have your cup at least quite full to be able to help others. And so I hope that I have answered your question. Again, all that I talk here is all my opinion, so you can extract your own conclusions and do as you believe.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine who lives down the road, and we were talking about chakras and I don't know, Buddhism or whatever. And he's an atheist. He says it's all rubbish. Now, if you, I mean, looking at the concept of universal energy, or whether it be a Christian God or Islamic God or whatever, if you dismiss the whole, which lots of people do, lots of people are quite anti-religion now. I don't know if it's anti-God, anti-religion. I don't know quite where I stand. I would say that I'm agnostic. I was quite put off the Christian religion because of the concept of the doubting Thomas, and if you doubted the word of God, you would not get to heaven. That would put me off it. But I would say that I'm agnostic. But to the atheist who doesn't believe in universal energy and thinks it's all a load of cobblers, rubbish or whatever, or God, so that would put a spanner in the works of the whole concept of I don't know, accepting love from the universe, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if there is a question there, or is George?
No, but I don't know. I mean, nobody can prove the existence of God or of. I mean, I thought your presentation on dark energy was interesting. It was very interesting. It was nice that there was some kind of alternative sort of concept of God, and and whether who knows if the Buddhists have got it right or the Hindus have got it right or the you know, whatever. But I don't know. So we're looking at chakras now. But you know, the Christians wouldn't look at chakras. They'd look at different. I don't know what's the benefit of one religion. I don't know. We're looking at chakras. We're looking at diagrams of chakras, and it's nice to, I don't know, think that perhaps this is nice. But you can't actually physically touch or see a chakra. It's just, is it real? How do you know it's real?
There have been, according to what I know, some experiments with people who are very, you know, like yogis, who have a lot of experience in meditation,
Yogis, yeah.
and they have measured with tools, and they see some spectrum there in, you know, some kind of vibration in the areas of where supposedly are the chakra. Yes, this is very subtle, so it's well, you can believe or not, but I
know. My problem is I don't know what to believe. Some people believe that they've seen. I remember there was a big thing as a child that people had seen the statue of Mary. Is it Mary crying? And then there was, I don't know, people were coming from across the world to Ireland to go and see this statue of Mary who was crying, and people believe that they see, but I don't know. Is it real or not, man? It's just,
from my experience, I have never seen any something like this, but well,
I've never seen a ghost. People say they've seen ghosts. You know, I'd like to. I know that the whole concept of God and everything is, and you know, maybe universal energy. I don't know, and chakras. I mean, you can't physically point to or feel. I don't know. Chakras.
Yeah, but the chakras, what I always say is, well, you can believe or not. And when I created the course of chakras, that every chakra have like a different meaning, a different, you know, different aspects of yourself.
Yes.
Like the seventh chakra is the most spiritual connection with the universe or whatever it is. This is the third eye, about understand, comprehend the world, and also command, no, because with your thoughts also. Then the fifth chakra is like speaking your truth, communicate, etc. The heart chakra for love, etc., etc. So even though you don't believe in chakras, well, what I wanted to do with this course of chakras is a way to put in order the knowledge, because you know we have nowadays we have all the knowledge around there. You go into internet and you can find all the things that you want, but this is also very important how you put the knowledge, how you put in order and how you teach it. So this is a way to it's like the pyramid of Maslow's pyramid of needs. It's very similar. So
yes.
It's a way to comprehend every aspect of yourself, and then you can work specifically in one of or other aspects depending on how you feel you need more work in one or the other way. So, and today I put also the chakras. As I said at the beginning, you were not there at the beginning, but I said it's like it doesn't mean that every type of love is rated one single chakra, but I put it in there also for making more memorable, so you can remember better, you know, when you have some order, right? And about love from the different religions, you have well, the Bible, for example, in Christianity, it is in the Bible. God is love. There's a part of the Bible that says God is love, and I believe this is the core of every religion, Muslim, etc. So at the end of the way of all these practices and laws, and you know, go to the church or the mosque and pray 5 times, or I don't know. For me, all those many layers is like an onion knot that you put many layers. But if you remove all the layers, at the very lust, you find love, no? And love,
So-
as understood, wait a moment, love understood from the, like, as you said about the frequency, no? Like high vibration of frequency. That is how I understand.
I'm open to the idea. I'm open to the, I'm open to the concept, but I don't see how the atheist would see that. Because we're talking about love, and surely atheists are entitled and do feel love, but they various love and things. But I don't know how they fit how that fits into the chakra context or into the I don't know of any other context really. Maybe they should all be shot. Shoot the atheist. So, I don't know if they don't fit in. No.
Well, this is a way to structure the concepts, and so you can apply. You, for example, if you now know that there are different types of love, so you can distinguish what type of love is with different person, and you understand that there is a love that is unconditional, but you can at the same time use that unconditional love with indeed your different types, other types of love relationships.
Yes,
it's good to practice.
No, I agree. I mean, anybody who's a parent or everybody who's been a child is your relationship, the love between you and your parents is different to the love that somebody sexually attracted to, or the love that you have for your friends, your brothers, you distinguish. Yeah, I do. I get that. Yeah, I just It's the universal energy bit that's a question mark for me.
Well, previously we have had some talks about high concepts like very spiritual concepts or metaphysical, etc. So that is why Stephen is still confused with all these concepts. But
I'm just confused.
The following weeks we have like more earthly topics.
Yeah.
Public speaking, creativity.
I like this. I like the idea of questioning things.
But we will go back to high topics. Like in some weeks we'll be talking about the new revelations from the Celestine Prophecy. That is a book, the Celestine Prophecy, that it talks about new revelations. It's a novel, but giving some interesting concepts. And we'll talk about these 9 concepts. That's also again very related to what we have seen before in the quantum physics, in the mindfulness, all these kind of things. Just in some ways we'll have that as well. So I hope, I mean, it's difficult to understand all at once, all the concepts at once. But you understand one day a little and a little, on top of that, you put all the concepts together, and somehow at some point, all that makes sense, more or less. Like there is always like uncertainty in the universe. Right? For me, at least, I have spent a long time in my life reading books and understanding things, and like courses, etc. And well, putting all together the concepts is how I have a concept, a general concept, a comprehension of how life works, the universe, etc. And that is how I act in my life. In consequence of that, I do things in my life in that way. And for me, general, my life is going well. So I just try to convey my philosophy to the people so they can apply and my work well for people. Or no, if not, just let me know. I will be happy to listen to your feedback as well.
I think I enjoy these discussions. I do.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm happy to know that.
And me too. I am very pleased to attend this kind of meetings because Esteban, you are a bright light.
Yeah, you're a nice man.
Keep on shining.
Big hug for Esteban.
Keep on shining. And I am very familiar with the AGAPE love because I do believe in God. I cannot prove it, but I have a group. It's historical places that you can find. So if someone is interested, I have that information. I don't read it because I already believe in God. I read the Bible and I believe. everything. Despite of that thing, I believe, like you said, Esteban, that love is the basis of all of religions. But sometimes they fight against each other, and that is the sad part, because if you read about love, you don't need to pay attention about to be in war and against everybody. If I am a Christian, I don't need to fight against the rabbis, the Jews, the Hindus, the Muslims. I need to love everyone because I ought to be loved. So I've been loved, so I share this love with everybody, no matter if you are believers, unbelievers, whatever. I love you. Maybe not the action, but I love the person. So that is what we can do, all love each other. And you can agree with me or with no or not agree, but the important thing is to love and to share what we agree with. So I also love what you say about the words of affirmation and the acts of love, because you can share. If you don't have money, you can share your time, you can share your smile, you can share the word of encouragement, and you can change people's life, because you don't know what they are facing that day. Maybe they are angry or a family died. You don't know. But if you are good and show kindness, and everything could change for that person, and even for you, because when you give love, you also receive that love in return. Thank you, Esteban. Keep on shining, my friend.
Thank you very much. Well, it's an honor to receive those compliments. Thank you. And also there is something that you say that is very interesting, that is separate the behavior from the person. That, for example, if somebody is having a bad behavior in some way, that doesn't mean that the person is bad. And so it's good to separate exactly the behavior from the person, and not accuse the person from being bad just for doing a bad thing. Because if you say a person is bad, that person will keep behaving bad. Just because it's different from being, doing, and being. And yeah, good point as well. Thank you, Maritere. So thank you very much for attending, and I hope you can apply love in all areas of your life. All right. Bye.
Bye.